Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, everyone. Please allow me to introduce my teams. My name is Laksmi Maharani, and I'm with Nuraini Ekawati from Diponegoro University, and Yugatama from Sebelas Maret University. Thank you for giving us opportunity to share our research about development, validation, and testing of effectivity of online learning questionnaire or KEPO in pharmacy students of public universities in Central Java Province, Indonesia. Okay. The background of our research is this pandemic of COVID-19 was making the Indonesian Ministry of Education release a coherent appeal to shifting traditional learning into online learning. And not only schools, but also universities follow this appeal. And in Central Java Province, there are 3 public universities which having pharmacy major, also made the same policies for the implementation of online learning. They were Jenderal Soedirman University or also Sebelas Maret University or UNS and Diponegoro University or UNID. And some reviews from the research before have been found that online learning is as effective as a traditional face-to-face meeting. Supporting factors of online learning effectiveness identified by the previous study were online learning is time-saving, allow self-paced learning, and could improve students' confidence level. But there are also some questions like how to measure the effectiveness rightly. Various questionnaires were developed to assess motivation of students, acceptance, attitude barriers in online learning. But the effectivity of online learning, most of the research assessed by pre and post test of the content delivered or by retention test. So there is a need to improve that measure by conducting more research in finding effectiveness on online learning, especially focus in factors that have been observed having impact in online learning effectiveness. And in Indonesia, there was no such questionnaires developed for assessing effectiveness of online learning in undergraduate pharmacy students yet. So the objectives of our research were, the first is to develop a valid and reliable questionnaire for assessing effectiveness of online learning in pharmacy students. And the second is determining the effectiveness and difference of online learning in pharmacy students of 3 public universities in Central Java. Next, I will present the method and result section based on the stages of the research implementation, which were development and validation of effectivity of online learning questionnaire or KEPO. And the second is the section of testing of KEPO questionnaire. Okay, the first section about development and validation of this questionnaire. We use literature research for development process. The steps were identifying the dimension. We use the literature from RICAD 2010 about the efficacy and inevitability of online learning in higher education. There are three dimensions we use, which were access, quality, and cost. The second were developing items and developing formats. The access dimension, we use indicators of reaction and function, which were time, ease of use, and technology. The dimension of quality, we use indicator of function and benefit by the same literature by Salter, which is knowledge, confidence, flexibility, interest, and availability of online discussion. And the cost section or cost dimension, we use literature by Child et al., which is hardware, software, and internet access. The last is determining scores by a review panel. We determined that we use 4-scale Likert style, and the total score is 42. Then afterward, developed the questionnaire. The validation process of KEPO questionnaire were divided into 2 steps. They were content validity and construct validity. So from the initial questionnaire, we used 11 items, but one item was deleted because the calculated validation ratio is less than 1. We broke into 4 items, and all the items have reached the CVR 1. The final questionnaire consists of 14 items. After that, we do the testing of this questionnaire into a pilot testing to assess the construct validity and reliability. The testing were held in 40 respondents. We found that the R score is above the R table score after we test by Pearson correlation, and the reliability testing using Cronbach alpha result that the alpha score is 0.8. And the second part is assessing effectiveness of online learning and pharmacy of public universities in Central Java students. We use cross-sectional survey method with stratified random sampling. Our questionnaire were distributed by Google Form platform during May to July 2010 and 2020, and this have been approved ethically by KAPK Vikas Unsur. The result is we divided the sample characteristic into age, gender, university of origin, and year of entry. In the age category, students aged less than 19 years old or belonging to adolescence category have a number that is not much different from the age category more than 19 years old or adults. In the characteristic of gender, it turns out that pharmacy students are dominantly female. From the media use, almost all respondents have used the Moodle platform because this platform is subscribed to many universities in Indonesia as an online learning platform. And below, the most popular social media platform, which is WhatsApp, occupies one of the most platforms experienced by students in online learning, followed by another video conferencing platform like Zoom, Google Meeting, and also others platform. And based on respondents' experience, the platform that were considered effective were Moodle and Microsoft Teams. And then the question about learning methods, it turns out that students answers very widely, and almost all experience learning through discussion chat using group social media. Nearly half of the students state that the effective method was PowerPoint with audio, followed by video conferencing. And the final result of this survey using KEPO questionnaire is that online learning was considered effective with the average score is 37.88. 97% of the respondents agreed that online learning is strongly effective. Students state that online learning was effective in terms of access. Main, of course, having those scores because most students say that they need to increase the internet cost because of this online learning. We also conduct a bivariate test with respondents from 3 universities to see if there are any differences between these 3 universities from the assessment of the effectiveness of online learning. However, the result of Kruskal-Wallis test indicated that there was no significant difference. So the conclusion is this questionnaire, KEPO, is a valid and reliable questionnaire used for assessing effectivity of online learning in pharmacy students. And the average effectivity score of online learning in 478 pharmacy students of 3 public universities in Central Java was 37.88 with the standard deviation 4.9, and there were no significant differences of online learning effectivity of online learning among pharmacy students in Diponegoro University, Sebelas Maret University, and Jenderal Soedirman University. That's all from me. Thank you for listening, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.